Hey guys, hope you guys are enjoying Supergirl issue 36. Here it's come. Today it just got released and I have read it already. Let's go make a review of this one. As one of the outliers in the Superman title, Supergirl often gets the worst treatment of them all. Throughout 35 issues, the character has struggled to find a singular direction in its stories and character development instead of getting caught up in the Superman crossovers. While the initial issues were going along well enough, it eventually got stopped in its tracks by the Hell story arc, and once the series seemed to have recovered from that, it was thrown into the Doom storyline, and below it all is an engaging character that all too often has her character development thrown out the window for the sake of some easy cross coverage. While that is not exactly the case here, it is clear that the Superman titles cannot just leave the character alone, which is evident here even in the words of Supergirl asking to be left alone as she addresses Cal. There's incidentally relatively few moments in comics where reality imitates art as well as this. Much as with Batgirl in the titles, the character of Supergirl really needs some space in order to grow into something more than just another tie-in to bigger Superman stories. By the end of this issue, that starts to take shape, but it is at the expense of other recent developments, such as her budding romance from the other recent issues. What happens here at the end is to throw Supergirl into yet another offshoot of her own storylines, once again drawn into space beyond her control, but the story arc at least looks to be engaging, including reintroducing Maxima. What happens is that the series once again seems to have some promise to stand on its own, something that it didn't have since the first year of its stories. While readers and fans of the character might be waiting to a long time for some eventual stability within this title as opposed to outside interference, it would appear that this might be that issue where it starts, even if Superman is here for about 2 pages. As one of the few titles featuring a female superhero, this title could definitely use the attention which it deserves from both the fans and the creators, but it is to the creators to make that happen, and hopefully this will be the first step. So we have to decide where it should go, whether we have to like it or not. It certainly didn't take long for Sterling Gates to turn the good ship Supergirl around and set it back on course. Only 3 issues into his run, he has established this comic as a worthy companion to Jeff Johns' Action Comics, and it demonstrated that Supergirl can work as a concept, as a character in this new century. Of course, it helps that the whole Superman franchise has reverted back to the Silver Age approach, and it was that context in which Supergirl originally worked best. It was all downhill once the Featherweight here hit band era kicked in during the late Bronze Age. After that, it was all bad movie adaptations, crisis deaths, photoplasmic rebirths, and skanky super assassins. Supergirl didn't fare well for decades in the world of comics, at least not a Supergirl who was recognizable as Superman's innocent young cousin. Yeah, I can remember that when Supergirl got the Red Lantern ring and something she just converted, that was a pretty much of bad stuff. Gates has shown that such a Supergirl can still work today, even if the age we live in is far from innocent. What he has done is to establish Kara Zor-El as a good-hearted teenager first and a superhero second. That isn't so say that we get pages and pages of Supergirl in street clothes. Through Gates has found a way to give her a civilian identity, but even when she's in superhero grab, she's a young woman trying to figure out her place in the world. The question of identity is implicit in the character of Superman. Is he Clark Kent dressing up as a hero, or is he a Kryptonian pretending to be Clark Kent? But question isn't central to the character, it is central to the character of Supergirl, and it shouldn't be, because we don't need a younger female copy of Superman. Her character serves a different narrative purpose, and the exploration of identity is the core of that. After establishing her new role in the DCU in issue 34 and then answering questions about previously inconsistent characterizations in issue 35's Sparknotes version, Kryptonite Poisoning Move On, Gates shakes up Supergirl's sense of self once again in Supergirl 36 in this issue, part 8 of the new Krypton mega serial that runs through all the Superman family comics. Supergirl not only loses a loved one but must deal with the escalating conflict between her Kryptonian people and her adopted home. That is pretty much cool, and that was a really great thing. This I just read from the 2008 Supergirl issue, and where we go, and I just described before that this was the action scene by Kara Zor-El. What happens is that series once again seems to have some promise to stand on its own, something that it didn't have since the first year of its series. So here we go. Supergirl's test is done, and she is introduced in a school. School is such a mundane word for what the Crucible offers its students. So here it is. Crucible is there, and she's introduced over here. A lot of people are there. That's why, and Supergirl really shocked that what is going on and what their agenda is, what their objective do with her. That is really confusing. But here is the action scene that I'm really impressed. There is incidentally relatively few moments in comics where reality imitates art as well as this. This is also a good thing, and I've really enjoyed this one. This is a scene from Rome. Really drawn landscapes are cool there, and I think, is it Superboy? Yes, the red things. I hope this one is. Let's go. What we will find out. We have to wait for another few days for Supergirl 37. Next issue is coming. Class is in season, but survival is not guaranteed. So thanks for watching. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Go to the store and buy the comics.